guess what, everyone? We are back at it with the beautiful flooding, except in 2019. Obviously, it happened again. This is Fredericton for you, and if there's one thing I can say, it gets really bad. Now, what we're actually going to do today is a bit of street lighting, but at the same time, we're going to do a bit of flood coverage, since I know a lot of people are very interested into that. Since, to be honest, I think like Fredericton is definitely recognized for that. They always say the river gets out of its bed. Weird expression, but that's what they usually use. Anyway, today we're going to cover the downtown section, a couple of the sections like downtown and the city, and maybe a bit of the north side part if my friend there would like to go at north side. Since north side, it gets actually quite terrible as it is at south side. Either way, let's start this. Let's do a little bit of cinematics and a bit of talking to cover this, and afterwards we'll do a bit of street riding. Now, here we are at the down section, where's Officer Square. This is my beautiful, sexy friend, Rylan, cruising with me downtown. Thank you so much to him for actually coming with me. Either way, this is the down section. Over there is the Westmoreland Bridge. Now, here is a very classical spot by Fredericton. It is actually named Officer Square. Usually, that's the spot where people come downtown, meet up, and do activities. Except that right now, it's a pool, obviously. What else were you guys expecting? And then down there, it is the lighthouse. Over there, it gets completely flooded. So what they actually have to do is close this main road, which means you can't get access to the Westmoreland Bridge, and they actually have to use the other bridge, which is all the way down there. It's called the Princess Margaret. Either way, this is Officer Square, everyone. Let's go a bit more down there. Where's the blue walking bridge over there? I do believe it's still accessible. Let's get down there. Here's a closer angle of what I was actually talking about. As you can tell, over there's the little blue walking bridge that goes over this main rail. Here it gets completely flooded. Usually here is the bike trail. Down there, that's the lighthouse actually being used correctly for once. But now, let's magically teleport onto the other side of the road. Over there, that's where the Westmoreland Bridge, and where's the ramp to go onto the bridge is covered by water, which means it is closed. Then onto the right side, on this side, here's a better angle of all the water. The entire parking there is covered by water, and here, the water is going over this road. And here it's kind of funny, since there's really like water all around this little structure there, and it just looks like a little tiny island just sticking out of the water. And then here, I remember last year I measured it, the water was at least over the first sentence that's on the below part. But this year the river is a little bit lower, but I know tomorrow it's supposed to raise up a bit more. But I just find it kind of silly. It's just like a little island. That's how they actually measure the water, how much height is actually out of its normal height. Now, if you see the first pole, that's the 7.9 indicator, and then the one right next to it is 8.5. So right now the water is about like 7.9 meters out of its bed. Isn't that cool? That's what Mother Nature can do. What do you think, Rylan? So here's a better view by the Westmoreland Bridge. So over there, the ramp is closed, and then to the left of it, there's all of those parkings that are actually closed due to the flooding. I think it's about like a meter deep, but imagine a car just being stuck in there. That'd be terrible for them. But as you can tell, it gets really bad down here. All of this section closed by the river. Let's go see how bad it is actually doing downtown. Here's a section downtown. It's actually located by the cemetery. And here it gets actually quite bad since the water overflows from underneath the sewage and it just pops out and it completely floods this entire road. Every single year it gets actually quite deep. My down there, it's about like 2 meters high or so. It's actually very deep. But that is one of the sections downtown. Let's go see another section downtown. So here's another spot downtown that actually gets flooded very often by this little corner store right there. Here it's about like 2 feet deep. If a car barely, like, not every single car can actually make it through. Do we have any example coming through? Oh boy, we have many cars. Oh. Haha. Oh, what is that smoke? Oh my god. But here it actually gets very deep. Like, for real, it doesn't seem deep. Am I right? Like, it seems very shallow, but in reality, it's actually quite deep. Either way, yeah, like, you can't see the curve, so I guess that's a good indicator. Either way, I know there's another spot downtown. There's a couple of roads down there that also gets flooded. We're gonna go see them, and if I'm correct, I do believe one of them is crossable by going on top of my scooter. Hopefully, I can do that like I did last year. Here's another section. So usually I remember last year, all of this was covered by water. Like, there was no spots there for you to actually be able to walk on, but it gets very bad out here in these neighborhoods downtown. Now, I don't know if this is crossable. It doesn't seem too deep, but like I said, this is quite tricky. You never know. Can you be my tester? Okay, so, oh yeah, that's crossable. I don't know why, but these are always fun to do. It's just so entertaining. As I was saying, this entire road gets completely flooded by water every single year. One special thing about this road, this house over there, usually goes right by the door. I don't believe it made it there yet, but if you look over there, I don't know if you can really see, but all the way behind there, there's water, and that sort of water usually sneaks up and then covers all of this. It actually gets really bad, but like, look at this beautiful angle. All of this water. So as I was actually talking about, over there the water just comes down. All of this is probably going to be filled up under like 2 hours or 3 hours. It gets really terrible, so we actually can't stay here for too long or else we're going to be stuck here. But where it comes from is from there. There's like a big puddle, all forms up there, goes down by this little segment here, then here it just comes down. It looks cute. It's like a mini waterfall, but as I mentioned, it fills up very quick. So as you can tell, it fills up very, very quickly. By the time we're back from north side, it's definitely going to be completely flooded. So here's a better angle of it. As I was saying, all of this comes in, right into this little pathway, and all of there gets filled up. As I've mentioned, that was the piece of like kind of island or whatever in the middle of the water, but what looks really good are the whirlpools. They just look really cool. Like, look at that. Like, I could literally watch at this for hours and hours. It's just so satisfying. Last year, it was actually really bad, and they weren't actually preparing. All of it got flooded, but during the summer, they renovated everything. Hopefully, everything went well for them, and they didn't actually get flooded, or else that's going to be actually super... like, that would just sucks for them. Just renovate everything, and all of it just goes to garbage. But as you can tell, over there, usually it's like a mini park. All of that's completely filled up with water. Over there, where's the walking bridge? If you continue over there, usually there's like a little crossover that you go underneath. All of that's completely covered with water. And look at that beautiful green moss over there. Isn't that sexy? Anyway, we're going to continue a bit more to the right. And after we're done with the right side of it, we're going to go to the left side since Rylan wants to go to the Wendy. So this is a little section at north side. Here it's like a little bridge that relies both of the sides at north side. And if you look over there, that's actually the walking bridge, and it's literally to the level. A bit more of water. That bridge is gone. Do you know what I'm actually surprised though? How did that bridge never broke? Because that must be a lot of force pushing onto those like poles on the bottom. I mean, I guess if a train could go on it, it must be quite solid. Anyway, I want to show you guys that spot down the road. Once we're done with that spot down the road, we'll go back up this road and we will go to Wendy's. Here we are down the road. Now, this section gets actually very terrible. And look at that. Isn't that cool? Put it right there. That's exactly to the level of the river. Rylan wanted to cross it. I don't know how I feel about that. No. You are not doing it. Anyway, We are going to attempt to make it onto the other side, because I remember last year there was too much water to actually make it onto the other side, but I believe right now is the perfect moment to make it. We might even get stuck. I don't know, but let's try it. So we are lucky enough, this road isn't covered yet, but it's actually really close. As you can tell from this, just like a couple of centimeters extra and all this is going to be flooded. But don't worry, we're going to make it quick, so we're going to be able to come back. Either way, we're going to be able to see this year what actually happens on the other side over there. So as you can see, all of this actually gets completely flooded. Damn, that actually looks really bad, and I don't know if you can see, but it looks like there's like a ton of gas in the water. I don't know where that's coming in from. What are you trying? Oh my god. But yeah, it actually gets really terrible. Sadly, we can't make it across. I don't believe that there's actually a way, unless we pulled out some freaking canoe, but I don't think that's possible. Either way, we're gonna return where the heck we were at the beginning, and we will see the other side. Here we are at the same spot as the beginning. So here's an angle from the other side. As you can tell, flooded from that little corner there and came all in and completely covered this. And here's the other side of the picker room, the front side of it. So as you can tell, their whole driveway is completely flooded. Hopefully the inside isn't flooded like last year, because last year was actually really terrible. Either way, we're gonna go a bit more down this road. We arrive at the Westmoreland Bridge. So all the way down there is completely flooded. Here is just a big massive pool. I didn't know it actually gets that bad down here. I don't know why, but this side, they're still going. I don't know how. Either way, look at that. Look at this beautiful magic. Kaboom! Look at that magic. We made it all the way down here under 1 second, but I actually didn't know this section gets flooded that bad. Look at that. Look at that. The water is literally all the way to the bridge. Imagine the water was over the bridge. But all this section is completely flooded. I didn't even know about this spot, but we're not certain how we're actually going to make it across. I guess we'll figure out a way to make it to Wendy's. Yeah, we kind of just didn't really care. I just, you know, like that little patch of grass right there, I just walked through in there. I kind of like scoot zigzag through this water. Let's just say we're kind of too lazy to go around. And we are back home. I am actually going to stop talking since the video is already enough long. You know what to do? Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you aren't subscribed. Notification shout out goes to this little buddy right here. If you'd like to win it next time, make sure to turn on the post notification bell so then you actually get a notification whenever the video is actually public. Either way, I'll stop talking. The video is enough long. I'll see y'all in my next video.